Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aries. If Aries is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. And let's see, what do these tea leaves have to say tonight? All right. Okay, let's see. And our card tonight is the Seven of Swords, which has to do with failure. Or at least the perception of. So when we go through these periods of failure, there are conditions that kind of align so that we may be more susceptible to making mistakes, bad decisions, being seduced into places, things, people that maybe we usually wouldn't. So it's a good time to be mindful. It's not only a good time, it is a most important time to be mindful. Come on. Trying to coax this tea off of there. Okay. So let's see, where are we going to start? I want to look at the Sphinx here. And it does look just like that Egyptian Sphinx with the body, I was going to say head of a lion, no. The head of a goddess or pharaoh and the body of a lying lion. And so the Sphinx kind of classically represents the riddle, the mystery, right? The question you have to answer so that you may go through the gateway. Now, the Egyptian version, I don't know that this is the same motif exactly, but the guardian of knowledge, okay? Old, arcane, sacred knowledge. And so, you know, I feel like you've been doing some searching. I think that you have had some questions in your mind. I know things have not been easy this year. I know that you've had some big setbacks. You've also had some victories, right? Some things have really gone your way. It doesn't feel as joyful because there have been other things kind of happening, or at least, you know, one or two big things. And so I think that there have been a lot of these kind of existential questions, the big questions, you know, why am I here? What am I doing? What is my purpose? You know, maybe not exactly those, but related, you know. And I think at times this can be kind of a byproduct of some melancholy, some hurt, grief, okay? But I also think that you are an intellectual, you are a thinker, you are the leader of your life. You don't sit in the back seat, right? You're the one driving the car. And so exploring these mysteries, these things, that feel important. Maybe not in day to day, but they're important. It can be exhilarating. I think that you find a lot of joy in these pursuits. I think that you could be, you know, a philosopher, a great thinker, a poet, you know. You like to think about things. And now, the thing that's funny about this is that Aries, I don't think that Aries is always kind of thought of as somebody who is hyper creative or into kind of the paradoxes of existence and this kind of thing. You know, we think more of like leadership roles and you know, A-type personalities and physical forward lifestyles and these kinds of things. But I feel like, you know, maybe that's true to some degree, but I feel like a lot of Aries that I've known, the more I do these readings, the deeper I look into these different signs, I see an Aries as somebody who stands in the middle of reality, but is always looking up. You know, very grounded and centered, but so interested in the things that people forget to even consider. Very much a thinker. I mean, just these intellectual pursuits are thrilling to you. And, you know, whereas like a lot of people, I think, you know, you get through school, you kind of do your due diligence. Maybe once in a while you see a thing online and you're like, oh, that's interesting. You know, whatever meme cycle or thing on one of the platforms, you know, that's kind of getting some views or whatever. But I think that this is something that is ever in your mind. Maybe spiritual and religious as well, but I really think that there's a lot of interest in the human condition. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if you work in some kind of what I'm trying to think, what would it be? So maybe some kind of administrative thing, but I think maybe like working with I was going to say HR, but I don't think that's it. But something where you're working with helping people find resources or organization of people and their tasks. And I don't know, I'm trying to think. And maybe like a psychologist even. Psychology, some kinds of therapies, alternative therapies. As a healer for sure, but more interested in the actual experience of things, the sensation of things, the impressions. I could see an Aries being like a deeply Jungian person, a mystic that is mixed into this kind of modern psychoanalysis, right? And so definitely this strikes me as that thinking component, that deep arcane wisdom. And above it, I see, this reminds me of, if you've ever seen, I just talked about the Goya's Witches Sabbath or Black Sabbath or what. I have to look these up because I look at so much art, I forget. But the motif is kind of the crone or the witch or the old hag flying on the back of you know, a dead horse or a goat or, you know, whatever. So, to me, what this says is that you are not confined by social mores. You are beyond that. Maybe that's what ruled you at one point, but the crone, or the old woman, right? You can think of kind of the witch in Hansel and Gretel, or Baba Yaga, or you know, Chamunda, or I'm trying to think. Just in all the Disney movies, there are these old witches and things like this. They are beyond what? Ethics, morality, social mores. They do as they please. They do as they must. They are ruled by something that most people can't understand. But that is what it is to get old, and to shed the constraints of our conditioning, of outmoded coping mechanisms, having to fit in. When you are beyond the necessity to do this, like hyper necessity, of course we all have to kind of, you know, follow the laws and you know, try not to do things that'll get too much attention brought to us. But you know, when you stop caring about what other people think of you, this is when we begin to find some freedom. This is when we start to figure out, what do I actually care about? What do I want to do? How am I going to do it? And I'm going to make it happen, because I know I have that power. And I know that you know that about yourself. This failure card that came up, I think that, you know, I don't think it's about having the energy of failure. I think that this is about releasing yourself from the constraints of feeling failure. I think at some point in most of our lives, hopefully all of us get to this point, or we at times can get to this point, where we see our failures as blessings. The universe is looking out for us, even if we cannot begin to understand why. If it's inconvenient, if it's heartbreaking, if it is a disaster, if we can try to hold on to the understanding that everything happens for some kind of reason, we will find meaning in it. We will build something with it. It will fortify us. And I think, you know, it's okay to have big feelings about a perceived failure. That's okay. Feel them. Let them run their course. And then you begin again. We have a person on a sled. They are being pulled by maybe an ostrich. I don't know, something. But smoothly on your way. Gliding. Imagine you being on the snow on a one-horse open sleigh. But really, yes. Traveling along. Do not get tied down to the misery of things not going how you perceived them, or how you wanted them to go, how you intended them to go. Okay? Everything is out of our control. It really truly is. It just is. Okay? And you know, we have the perception of safety sometimes. We have the perception that we're making things happen. We're the ones, you know, aligning all the stuff, moving little pieces together, creating the bigger picture. That's all silly. It's an illusion. It's okay though. We all cling to it. But when things really stink, okay, when things are overwhelming, you must remind yourself you are along for this ride. You're not the one, you know, calling the shots here. But you must do your best. It's the only way you're going to find any little opening to find some happiness, enjoyment. I see up here, right on the rim of the metaphysical, but in the emotional, an X and an O. Somebody loves you so dearly. And I think this is a person who has passed. I think this is a person that you think about a lot. This is somebody who is very close to your heart. And they love you and they are with you. They are with you in everything that you do. And the way that you live honors them. And that is beautiful. We have a little dragon here. Usually I would say this is about anger coming up. I don't think so. I think this is about a truly beloved and magical moment. I think that this is something extraordinary that is coming your way. There is a lot of beauty around you. It is up to you to perceive that. But I think not unlike a beautiful lullaby, a sweet song, and I see here we have maybe it looks like a fairy or, you know, something with maybe a butterfly, I don't know. But it's touching the back of the dragon. This is like the lullaby, lulling you to a happy, enchanted place. Not unlike holding your child and rocking them as they fall asleep. The universe, your beloveds, this person who has passed, maybe a mother, father, sibling, you know, maybe a spouse, somebody that was very tied closely to your heart. They're there. Think about them holding you, touching your forehead, giving you a kiss, singing to you so sweetly, and you are being held in this melody. You are being watched over. And it sometimes feels like you're just tumbling through all this stuff, this mess of a world. And yeah, you are. We all are. But you're not alone. You're not alone. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so what am I seeing? It looks like a little mountain, with maybe the moon overhead. And I feel like, you know, think about climbing that mountain, mastering these emotions. The moon is all about the ebb and flow. It is very moody, right? It pulls the waters, the tides of the emotions. It is ever shifting. Sometimes you just have to let it go. You have to succumb to those shifts in mood. I think this is one of your greatest powers. You are a very emotional person. And as long as you respect yourself, respect others, live in honor, okay, you're in a good place. These emotions are your superpower. You are a feeling, empathetic being. You have your eye to the sky, thinking about these bigger questions. I hope that you are writing poetry. I hope that you are writing all kinds of beautiful things, making art, music, crafts, whatever it is. Because I can imagine the wealth of understandings that you have. Share that with somebody. Share that with all of us, please. We need more people like you. We do. All right, we're going to take a look at the Indigo Sage Affirmation cards, and these are the air element. I think I was supposed to get the other deck for this reading, but what are you going to do? I love these ones. These purple ones are so pretty. Look at that. Beautiful butterfly or moth. I can't tell the difference, but they're gorgeous. What I've learned in the last couple years, because I take a lot of pictures of the insects that I encounter in my garden and wherever I go, really. I've noticed how beautiful moths are. I mean, they are gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay, so let's see. Let us see this little bird. And it's very cute. Most of my little, I have a lot of the finches left and the chickadees, and there's some sparrows and things. But my robins have gone, and my favorite, my grackles, have gone for a couple months now. Hello, Pudgy. Can I finish? And then we'll go to bed. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. All the way down. Thanks, bud. And so he says, let's hurry. Okay. Shake off the past as you are showered with blessings today. Praise all phenomena of freshness. Yeah, I don't even need to go into this. You hopefully see how this relates to the reading. It is the exclamation point. Hello, Pudgy, once again. Silly. All right, just don't knock anything, please, my buddy. All right, let's tell these people, these beautiful Aries. Did I say Aquarius? I meant Aries. I don't know. Maybe I said. Okay, there we go. Come on. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor. I'm trying to fix the... Oh, this boy. Okay. It is always such an honor for me to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. And as we all know, the algorithm kind of decides what happens with everything these days. So, we love to make it happy, give it the engagement that it wants. This is things like liking the video, watching the readings from the beginning to the end, sharing the readings on other social media platforms. And of course, you don't have to do any of these things, but I figure if you get this far in the reading, you might be more inclined to help support the channel. And these are some of the best ways to help. other than that, if you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell when you subscribe. It will let you know when the next videos are coming out. Between now and the next Aries, you can, and please do, watch your other placements, your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising, your Venus, and do some cross watching if you please. You can watch your significant others, your loved ones, your kids, whoever. If you're interested in what's going on in their lives, you can watch their horoscopes. I know a lot of people do cross watch quite a bit. I really did not know anything about that until I started making these, doing these readings, and now I watch my daughters especially, her readings. And so let's see what else. Waiting for this cat to jump back up here. He's coming around. Yes, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read all of them. I reply back to all of them. Sometimes it takes me a day or two to get back. But I really love connecting with you all. I love hearing about your lives. It really brings me a lot of joy and really makes the experience of doing these readings so much more meaningful, because I'm starting to get to know, who watches what, and every sign I know a few of you at least, so it's kind of fun. All right, I thank you, and we'll talk in just a few days.